Where's that music? Where's the music? There it is. It just took a minute. Took a long minute. I'm not hearing it at all. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, man. That breaks my heart. Are you hearing it? Turn it all the way up. Anyway, my friends, good evening. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Good evening. Hello, Brent. How you doing? Kevin, why did I not get the music? Let's try that one more time. Let's see if I try something else. Let's try this. Huh. Well, darn it. All right, my friends. It is playing? Why am I not hearing it? Huh. Well, then I guess I better turn the music down. I'm just not hearing it. All right. Anyway, Ross said he heard it. Just not playing back on my end for some. It's gone now. Okay. Well, anyway, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live. What day is it? It's Hump Day. Bob's with us. Martin's with us. Kevin's with us. Edgar's with us. Kevin's with us. Derek's with us. Ross is with us. Brent's with us. Paul's with us. Kevin's with us. We got a good crew tonight, as always. I wonder why I couldn't hear it. Just one of those little mysteries because I hear myself. Hello, Steve. Good evening, Lori. How are you? Tamers is with us. Anyway, my name is Mike Avery. This is another edition of Wednesday Night Live here on my social media outlets. Good evening, Louie. Nice to have you along with us. Nice rainy evening. Yes, indeed it is. Got a bunch of things done around the house yesterday, including some yard work and some cleanup work and a couple of last projects. Because I saw the weather. I knew the weather was going to change. I thought, let's get these taken advantage of, and we did. Tough day today, was it? Yeah, I can hear myself, Lori. I just couldn't hear the music. I've turned the music off now. I'll try to play it again at the end of the show. I don't see anything that would have prevented it from playing, but obviously it was. It is hump day. It is hump day. It is hump day. Hey, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. It's something I do every Wednesday night on my social media outlets. Thank you. It was one of those things that I didn't know if that was a real story, if that was a fake story. You know how those go? Sometimes it's hard to tell. This was about geese, Canada geese. I'll leave it at that. So how was your day, my friends? How was your week, by the way, since we last talked here on Wednesday Night Live? Did you join me on Behind the Mic this morning? Brian and I are at the camper show with all 4 dogs for grouse hunting. In the camper. I got it. I was thinking, why is there a camper show right now? 21. Let's see. Ranger Boats got back one of their 21 footers, $100,000 so far from those 2 dirtbags on Lake Erie who were caught cheating. Jim dropped a doe off at Stutzman's. They wanted to say hi and were surprised no bear. Well, they weren't any more surprised than I was, Jim. Johnny Bowler let me down. He let me down. I'm just kidding him. It says it's windy and rainy here. It's supposed to be cold in Ohio next week. Very cold. Good day to cut a couple of deer up. Absolutely. Hello, Julie. Had to help drag a bear out of the woods a couple weeks ago up at cabin. Quite the experiences. It was shot about 3/4 of a mile. Yeah, that's a pretty good drag, isn't it, Jeff? Good evening, Mike. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. Who was that? Raber Bay checking in from the Eastern UP. Gene's in, where are you? In Shepherd this evening. Oh, it's raining in Shepherd. They're being prosecuted. That's interesting. I didn't hear that, Cliff. That's interesting. Yeah, those 2 guys, they get whatever's coming to them. They deserve whatever they're going to get, I should say. Fall colors. Bear still hitting. Colors are full. Perch are hitting. Raber Bay, excellent. Hello, Jim. Good evening. How are you? Marty checking in from Rock. I know where Rock is. Does anybody else know where Rock is? Cedar Rock. Hey, Michelle. How are you? Who's that big guy there in the hat next to you in that picture? Had to drag it what? 100 yards. Still, 100 yards is a long drag on a bear, isn't it? Josh says, fall walleye season coming up on Saginaw Bay. Make sure all your deer hunters stay off the water so Josh has the bay to himself. Fraggle. No, it's not Fraggle Rock. 300 pounders, so it was a good bear. Good bear. Because a bear is one of those things that have shrinkage. Anyone trolling for walleye on the bay, you need to talk to this guy right here, Josh. If he's not out there right now, he will be very soon. Son and I saw a Chinook in the Pine River Midland. Do you think it's possible to see a solid run here? I don't know about that, Dave, but I can tell you when I used to deer hunt on the Greenpoint Nature Center, Chippewa Nature Center, I had a stand that was right on the river, and the kings would routinely splash and spawn right there at the base of my stand. So it was pretty cool. It says, be careful in the grouse woods now. 2 dogs gotten Lyme disease in the last year in Northeast Michigan. Thank you, Ed, for that. Didn't even think of that. Vince checking in from Dearborn Heights. Vince, good evening. How are you? Hadn't even thought of that, Ed. Thank you for the heads up. Never had Lyme disease. I've never even had a tick on me. And I know that as soon as I say that, I'm asking to get a tick. David, thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. Danny says, good luck this deer season. My deer season won't be much of a season. I'm going to head down to Ohio here next week and hunt with, hey, Aditya, how are you, buddy? I'm going to head down to Ohio next week and hunt with Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters. When we get back, I'll hunt a little locally. I'll hunt the lease property, but just not much of a deer hunter anymore. I do it because I want to be a part of the history and tradition of deer hunting. And I just don't have the passion for it that I do, say, for turkey hunting or bear hunting. I will do it. And if a big doe walks in front of me or a decent buck walks in front of me, I will be letting an arrow fly or letting a bullet fly out of that Brenton 350 Legend. But I'm looking forward to going to Ohio. All right, let me tell you who's coming up on the Outdoor Magazine radio show this week. It was a twofer this week, a 2-for-1. I doubled up because I'm going to be gone next week. So I did 2 shows this week. The one that airs this weekend, I have a very, very interesting story with a guy named Spencer Klock, K-L-O-C, Spencer Klock. He did something I didn't think was possible to do here in Michigan. He spent 16 days in the Yup on a bear hunt. No guide, no bait, and no hounds. In an attempt to get a bear. Long story short, he did get a bear on the 16th day of the hunt. Yes, you can use a 350 in Ohio, but this you can during the gun season, but I'm going to be down there during bow season, Jeff. Spencer ended up getting a bear on the 16th day of his season. He's sitting up in a tree stand not over bait, so over some acorns. And he ended up calling a bear in using a distressed rabbit call. This is pretty hardcore. You can. Jeff, I know you can. You can use a 450 Bushmaster and a 350 Legend. Only during the muzzleloader season or the gun season, though. And I'm going to be down there during the bow season. So anyway, Spencer kicks the show off. I think this is a fascinating story. I put Richard P. Smith in touch with Spencer because I thought he will tell a great story. Yeah, it's really something, Ed. This is a young guy. I mean, they camped out there in the bush. You think about talking about what happened at the LEWT weigh-in. I've talked about it several times, David. Talked about it several times. Yes, his dad was with him. Do you know Spencer? Spencer's dad was not hunting, but Spencer was with him. Scott says, I'll send you a pic of seed ticks that attacked me in August. Worst thing, any type of bug Major stress. Yeah, well, I don't know if I want to see those pictures then or not. By the way, how you doing, Scott? Good evening, Dennis. Gotcha, Jeff. Good evening, Bud. My name is Mike Avery. This is another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Also on this weekend's Outdoor Magazine radio show, Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News. Then Tom Lounsbury talks about pheasant hunting in Michigan. The season opens a week from tomorrow. Anybody here old enough to remember when there was good pheasant hunting in Michigan? I am. It seems like the guys who grew up on the west side of the state grew up pheasant hunting. The guys and gals who grew up on the east side of the state grew up waterfowl hunting. Because I was a west side guy, I was a pheasant hunter. Some of my best memories in the outdoors are pheasant hunting in northern Kent County in West Michigan. Early on with my dad. It was an absolute riot. It was an adventure. It was an experience. He taught me how to handle a gun. He taught me how to handle how to pheasant hunt. He taught me how to hunt with dogs. We had English setters. He had a 12 gauge semi-auto. I had a 20 gauge single shot, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I wish we could be that way again in Michigan. I doubt if we ever will. If you want that experience now, you've got to go out to Nebraska or the Dakotas. But yeah, you're right, Eric. You didn't need a dog. Although, when my dad had to work, I got a little bit older. And by I say older, I was probably 10. I mean, the statute of limitations is over now, right? I can't get in trouble for it, and he can't get in trouble for it because he's not with us. But I went out. I was out there pheasant hunting by myself before it was legal to pheasant hunt by myself. I'll guarantee you that. Scott Keatsman, thanks for taking his buddy about us a bear. Tony says, never needed a dog. Walked ditch banks and fence rows. Yeah, you're right, Tony. Didn't need a dog, but we had a dog, and it was a lot of fun because what my dad didn't teach me about pheasant hunting, the dogs did. And more than once, and believe me, a dog can give you a dirty look. More than once, I had a dog turn around and look at me and say, how'd you miss that? The dog is like, okay, I did my job. I ran my butt off. My nose has been to the ground. My tongue's lolling out of my mouth. I set up on the bird. I pointed it out for you. We flushed it together and you missed the bird. Yeah, that happened. It used to happen quite a bit. But the good news is there were enough birds around that a young, dumb kid like me could miss 3 or 4 of them and still come home with a bird or two almost every time out. Eric says he was that. You're right. Farming practices changed Michigan hunting forever. Greg says they had beagles, so they had rabbits around Traverse City. Jim says Van Buren County in the 70s. Yes. I was hunting late 60s, early 70s. Jeff says his best outdoor memories hunting with hounds and forgetting the hounds in the truck. Rabbit hunting with hounds and forgetting the guns in the truck. I gotcha. Hey, I got an idea. As long as we're on this, let's do a thing tonight. Post your best outdoor memory, your best hunting or fishing memory. What was it? Hey, Johnny, how are you? Nice to have you along with us. We've got a couple of them so far from Craig and Jeff. I've told you mine from pheasant hunting when I was a kid. Post your best hunting or fishing memory. What was it? What part of the state? How old were you? Was it a long time ago? Very hard to pick from, right? Last Goose 2000 near Algonac. Well, pick one of your favorites. Hey, Mark, good evening. Nice talking to you this morning. I look forward to seeing you Sunday in Ohio as we meet to hunt with Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters. Let me check something here. Let me see what the framing is. So what is your best hunting or fishing memory? Let's hear it. Give you a chance to weigh in. How is my headroom there? Too much headroom. Will that be after Wednesday Night Live? I will not be doing a Wednesday Night Live next week. Craig says his best was Cape buffalo hunting in Zimbabwe. Yeah. Raber Bay, brook trout fishing with his brother, Eastern UP. Bonnie, fishing with cane poles with her grandpa. Jeff, bunny hunting for the first time, had a great time. I didn't do it. There, if that camera will stay there, there's the perfect amount of headroom. Walleye fishing. Dave says walleye fishing. Fishing with Mike Avery. Hey, well, come on now. Nice of you to say, though, buddy. Sit with his mom in a bear blind. She was hunting 2016. First big buck in Oakland County. First pheasant. Arms in a cast. Granddaughter getting the first buck priceless. I hear you there, Tony. Daughter taking her first turkey. Squirrel hunting with your dad. 34-pound king, Jim says. Watching his 12-year-old son catch a 49-inch 28-pound northern. Batchewana Bay. Where's Batchewana Bay? Is that in Michigan or Ontario? Raber Bay. Oh, lost there. See. 1960s squirrel hunt with his dad in Genesee County. A lot of memories here, isn't there? Driving 45 minutes to deer camp with dad for the first day, forgetting our rifles at home. Guess we thought the others were loading the rifles. Oldest dog's first wild pheasant, public land, 5 months, 10 years ago. Perfect. Point, decent retrieve. Isn't this kind of fun? Isn't it fun to look back on our rabbit hunting every weekend with the Beagles, buds in high school? Record book Alaskan Yukon moose in 2001. We could go on and on, couldn't we? Isn't that what this outdoors that we all love so much? Isn't that what it's all about? Making memories like we're talking about tonight. If you think about it, if you're like me, and I know many of you are, many of my best memories are around hunting and fishing adventures, especially where it involves my grandpa or my dad or even my mom. Hunting and fishing. Yeah, the best memories, the best talks I ever had with my dad. Now, keep in mind that my dad for 35 years was a cop. So he was like a lot of cops. He was kind of, he could be gruff, he could be ornery, he could be mean, but he was also the most kind, generous person you ever wanted to meet. But he wasn't real talkative unless you got him on the water. My best talks with my dad we're out 5 miles out in Lake Michigan. The further we got from shore, the more he let his guard down. And I bet for a lot of you, it's the same way, that the best talks with your grandpa or kids or whoever were when you get away from the day-to-day world and you get out hunting or fishing and you change your environment, you change your surroundings, and people tend to let their guard down. And that's when they talk. We've got these still coming in. Wonderful. Wonderful. I love these. And this is why we do it, right? To put fish or wild game or birds or whatever in the freezer or on the table. That's wonderful. That is a great goal. But it's these memories that we create that last. The memory that you create fishing with a family member will live far longer than the fish that you put on the table or in the freezer. Right? The trophy, the wild game, even the mount on the wall aren't going to last forever, but the memories will. I got an idea. When I get done with Wednesday Night Live tonight, I'm going to put a post on the Facebook page, and it's going to be a follow-up to this conversation right here. And I'm going to say, please post a picture of one of your favorite outdoor experiences. So all these things that we're talking about, all these comments here, It'll be your chance to post a picture and give me a brief write-up. Let's do that. That will be Wednesday after live tonight. Will be post a picture of one of your best memories of your hunting or fishing, or one of your memories of some of your best hunting or fishing. There you go, John. Wednesday after live this week, outdoor memories. That should be a good one, right? Let's do that. And by the way, John Callison is the guy who came up with the name Wednesday after live. We're like, okay, what are we going to call it? Because I don't do it every week. And now that it's dark out, I won't be doing. I used to do some on the patio with a little maker's mark and a cigar. Well, probably not going to do that tonight. They are priceless. Those memories are priceless. Hey, Harry, good evening, buddy. How are you? Harry actually knew my dad. Harry, we were talking about best hunting and fishing memories, and I talked about my memories hunting and fishing with my dad. And so we'll do that tonight, my friends. Good evening, David. How are you? I see your brother Johnny's on here too. Let's do that tonight, my friends. When we get done with Wednesday Night Live on the Facebook page, I will put a post on the Facebook page saying, let's see photos of some of your, I'm just going to say one. Let's see a photo of one of your best hunting or fishing trips, best memories. And that'll give you a chance to share those. Brett, okay, I know Johnny. I know David. I don't know Brett. Brett, are you part of the bowler? Where'd you go? Brett, are you part of the bowler clan? I'll be curious to see. Johnny is driving Ed to Ohio Sunday. Hang on, Ed. Hang on. Nephew. Oh, you're a nephew of those two guys. You're a nephew of those two lugs. Hey, Brett. Well, cool. Nice to have you along with us. I haven't seen your name before. I didn't recognize it. So nice to have you along on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. Best guys ever known. Good, Mike. Thanks for asking. Hope. Oh, nice. Yeah, it is good. My man, Big Mike, how's it going, brother? It's going well. Oh, Johnny says it's just the opposite. Ed's going to be driving. I'm going down Sunday. Don't know how long I'm going to stay. I suspect it will not be the entire week. Hey, it's going to be cold down there, folks. Guys, joining us in Ohio next week. I know here locally in Michigan, mid-Michigan, next Monday night, they're talking freezing rain and possibly snow. It's good. He may or may not have a hangover. Make sure you play the radio really loud all the way down. You may or may not have a hangover. Don't know, John. I certainly will not be doing a Wednesday Night Live because I'll be in a tree stand. I don't know about it behind the mic. Don't know. We'll likely be hunting that morning too. We'll see. We'll see. But it's going to be cold, right? Now, Johnny, this crappy weather that screwed us up, bear hunting, it got nice again. Now it's going to get crappy again. That should actually help us out on whitetail hunting, right? Harry says snow here next week as well. You talking the Yoop? Where are you, Harry? Where are you these days? I know you were working in the Yoop for a while. Are you back around our old stomping grounds? Is that where you're calling home these days? Scott says small game contest, one time per year, 4 persons, 30 points. Most points per team for the day won the prize money. Already had snow in the eastern UP. I know there was 2 inches of snow up in Ontario too, eh? You notice I said Ontario and I went, eh? Looked at the weather. Was like, well, there goes the morning hunts. Johnny, you don't really care what the weather was going to be like. You weren't going to hunt in the morning anyway. Yeah, last year it was way too warm. I'd rather have it too cold than too warm because at least if it's cold, you can dress for it and it gets the animals up and moving. Last year we were down there, it was just too warm. Truefant, Cedar. Okay, gotcha, Harry. Harry Smith, class of 1976. You don't get much older than Harry. It's about as biological. Harry Smith is just about as biologically old as a human can be. Human body just isn't made to last much longer than that. especially the wear and tear that Harry's put on that body. Now, I can joke with Harry because we're the same age. What else is on my list here? Am I? Not by much. Oh, let's see. Is there anything on here I don't want to show? Yes, there is. I got my, boom, real quick, Ohio hunting license. And I think I covered up the important information. It's nothing you couldn't find online, right? Hey, Jeff, good evening. How are you? You're at a wolf meeting tonight? Is that tonight? Johnny says he's a fair weather hunter. You know what, Johnny? The older I get, the more I'm a fair weather hunter too. Anyway, I love this process of getting hunting licenses these days. The Ohio DNR sent me a text or email, not just me, everybody. They said, "Hey, hope you enjoyed your experience hunting in Ohio last year. Do you plan to come back again? If so, would you like to buy your license online right now?" Man, it made it easy. It's technology is so easy these days. Did the Bill said he did the online registration. It wasn't hard at all. No, it's not bad, is it? You, Johnny, and Ed get together. I didn't see much morning hunting, eh? You, Johnny, and Ed get together. Mom had a hip replacement. Tell her best wishes. We'll say a prayer for her. Do you have the app for Ohio? No, Craig, I don't. I do not have the Ohio app. It's on my laptop, but I don't think I downloaded it to my phone. I will, though. Good point. I will, because I suspect you can do online check-in through the app as well. I will. Thank you for that suggestion, Craig. So it does it with thank you, Harry. Does it with fishing too. So bring warm clothes, bring a lot of hand warmers. Josh says he's been buying licenses for a while online now. Think you have auto renew in Ohio? Ohio did say yes. Do you want to auto renew? It says yes on the Ohio app. Mark says he got his today online too. Very simple. It was very simple. Very simple. Hey, Johnny. By the way, my friends, people were asking what day it is. It's hump day. I did my big hump day this morning. My hump day when everybody in the studio heard me say hump day. I actually have my window open tonight, and I live on the edge of town, but I live in town. Taking my heated vest. I will be taking my heated vest, Brent. Yes, thank you. I should be making a list because auto pay, they really make it easy for you. I have to go through a checklist because I have been so busy with work and family and church related stuff that I actually haven't even hunted yet this year for deer. Now, I hate to make a trip going down to Ohio, 6 hours from home, and not having deer hunted here because I'm making a mental list of things I need, and I may well forget something. But I suppose they sell stuff down there too. Good evening, Michael. How are you? Haven't hunted from a tree stand yet this year. No, I was bear hunting in Ohio from the ground, bear hunting with Johnny from the ground. Have not sat in a tree stand here in Michigan yet this year. Same size. Thanks, Johnny. Tim says he's cold already. Any announcement on the wild game dinner? Yeah, it's Saturday. Yeah, I can tell you right now. It is Saturday, March. Is it the 4th or the 5th? Here we go. The wild game dinner will be Saturday, March 4th. That's the announcement. The Trinity Monitor wild game dinner will be Saturday, March 4th. Jenny says, okay, my gut is bigger. Bear hunting in Ohio. Did I say bear hunting in Ohio? You know me. You know me. By this time of day, I misspeak quite often. They probably have a bear hunt in Ohio, I would imagine. Hey, Judy, how are you? Good evening. Tim says we'll be there. Oh, Johnny's going to donate another bear or deer hunt for the Trinity Monitor dinner this year. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate that. Tim says he and Jen will be there this year. They couldn't make it last year because they were busy moving. Now, you know, folks, this year it's going to be at the Great Hall in Midland. Now, I don't know why we're talking about this too so soon because tickets aren't even, we're not even close to putting tickets on sale yet. But it'll be another good event. Bill says, make a list and check it twice, just like Christmas. Big black bear downtown Howard City this week. Yeah, they're all over the place now, aren't they? Okay, so what else? What else? George says, man, you're making me cold. I was on the boat on Monday in Boston Harbor. No fish caught, though. George, remind me, do you live out there or were you visiting out there? Ross says, I guess I'll be bidding on another bear hunt then. You're not going to get a tag next year, though, Ross. Johnny, can we hold it over for another year? Because neither Ross, nor I, nor Tony, or most of your hunters got a bear this year, Johnny. Just saying. Well, Ross did get a bear. Just saying, Johnny. But you know I'm kidding. If we don't, but Johnny, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't bust your chops. I don't bust the chops of people that I don't like. So if I'm busting your chops, I like you. For as long as you want, you can hold it over, Johnny says. I'll give away a fishing trip too on Saginaw Bay. Ed should get one next year. Ed could be in the running there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What's this one? Anyone go to Ohio, be a part of the caravan, be at my house as a walk at 9 a.m. PM for his address. You're leaving at 9? We don't have to be there down there till 3. That's 6 hours. Yeah, that's not okay. Yeah, you're right. All right. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to get my stuff around earlier. I was thinking I could get it around Sunday morning. By then it's gonna be too late, isn't it? I actually shot my crossbow last night for the first time since Ontario, since mid-August. Does that count? Does that count as full-blown preparation for the hunt? Jim, you should do that. Jim will be there. Yeah, at 10 points, you could get a first season with Johnny. Yes. Ross, you're a funny guy. Ross can fish free with me anytime he wants. And he spends money to do it because it's for a good cause, for charities. Charities, churches. I don't do any paid fishing trips. The only way you can fish with me as a licensed charter captain is through one of the charity auctions. I don't do paid trips at all. The only way you can fish with me on an official chartered trip is through one of the charity auctions, either for Trinity, Friends of NRA. I'm giving away one for the Saginaw County Youth Athletic Association, something like that. And there will be others, but charities only. No way I want to get in the chartering business. What else? Okay, just a reminder, in about 10 minutes here now, as we wrap up Wednesday Night Live. Okay, George. George says he lives out there, one of the few Angler Quest owners out there. Interesting, George. If we talked before, I apologize. I don't remember that conversation, but George lives on the East Coast, and he's got an Angler Quest out there. How do they look at you out there, George? Do they look at you like you're crazy, like they looked at all of us here in the Great Lakes at first? Now it's commonplace. I don't know. Oh, we did? I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Harry. Didn't know that. Huh. Yeah, that is sad. Didn't know it. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Huh. I don't know how those rules work, Edgar. Edgar says, as a disabled hunter, I want a handgun hunt in Encini. I don't know how that works. Don't know such things. Just a reminder, though, Wednesday after live tonight, I'm going to ask you to post a picture of one of your favorite hunting or fishing adventures. Don't let him kid you, Ross. Don't let him kid you, Johnny. He tells you they're free, then he's going to charge you. He tells you they're free, and then he charges you more for a truck. That's how Ross does it. Hey, Ben, how are things over at Michigan Whitetail Pursuit? Ben Consitis. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can donate. That's for sure. We end up with just about as many as I can possibly auction off in one evening. But again, we're getting ahead of ourselves because that's not until Saturday, March 4th. So we got a lot of time. We got the entire holidays between now and then. Next week, by the way, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats will be back. We'll be back from his hunting adventures. He was supposed to join us last week, but he ended up on a moose hunt in Ontario. This week, he's, how do you say it? Is it Sika or Sika? Bear hunting, whitetail hunting in Maryland. Yep, they look at me like I'm crazy, especially when taking the ways of a ferry boat that are 4+ feet. Until they ride with you, then they don't think you're crazy, do they? Hey, George, are you a recreational angler, or are you a charter captain out there, or what? I'm always looking for people to talk with on the Angler Quest podcast, other than the usual, Great Lakes walleye guys and Southern striper guys and such. Send me, if you would, George. I see you're watching on Facebook. Send me a private message, George. More about yourself, and maybe we can work you into an Angler Quest podcast if you're interested. If you're interested, I don't want to force you into something you don't want to be talking about. So again, Wednesday after live tonight, only on the Facebook page, I'll ask you to post a picture of one of your favorite hunting or fishing adventures. And we'll call it Wednesday after live. Thank you, John Callison. Yeah, the days of me sitting on the patio as the sun goes down are pretty much over. Even with the time change now, I think we're pretty much done. If I want to get daylight, though, right? Man, the geese are just flying like crazy now. I can hear them out the window there. They've just completely flooded. They have completely covered the pond behind the house here. All right, my friends, I don't see a lot more comments coming in here, so I think that means it's probably getting to be time to wrap it up. By the way, if you want to get in touch with me, my email address is mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. That's mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. The website is mikeaveryoutdoors.com. You can always get in touch with me. Send your photos, your pictures, your comments, your question. Not so much goose poop this year because I put up a goose barricade that kept the geese out of the backyard. Sandhills. I've seen some sandhills running too. Where do you go? Yeah, sandhills. Yes. Hey, Steve. How are you? Thank you. Cliff. Recreational. Stripers and Blues next season. Yeah. Please do that. You don't have to be a captain. That's a good point, George. You don't have to be a captain. Yeah, I would love to. Please send me that information, and we may well work you into the next Angler Quest podcast. All right, Craig, I'll see you on Sunday. Eric says, good luck in Ohio. So we will probably not do a Wednesday night live next Wednesday night. I don't know about a behind the mic next Wednesday morning. It's going to depend on how things are going. But a reminder, tonight, Wednesday after live, as soon as we wrap this up. Oh, let me see if I can. Let me try one more time to bring in some music here and see if you can hear it this time, because I didn't. Okay, now I got it. I didn't hear it before, but I got it now. All right, my friends. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. In just a few minutes, we'll do Wednesday After Live, where you can be involved. Share a picture of your favorite hunting or fishing adventure. My name is Mike Avery. The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. The email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live.